y'all. Welcome to Person Natalie. We are live with best friend in the house, Keliah. Keliah, thank you for your guest.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Y'all, listen here. This is my girl. Okay? Okay. So we are going to dig into friendship here.
Mm-hmm.
This is candid conversation. A big part of Person Natalie is sharing. I am who I am because of the capital SON of God. Not that I have arrived. However, thanking God for the long way that He has blessed me to come. So y'all come on in for this conversation. We are giving God glory for who I am. Friendships being so real and important in relationship. Growing up, I had a couple of really good friends. However, while growing up, I tried to fit in. And I was not made to fit in. And it wasn't until the last, I'm kind of up there, thank God. Maybe like
5
decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Decade.
Where I've learned what real friendships are.
Yeah.
And I've learned to be comfortable in my own skin and who I am. I've learned that I haven't had to put on a show, to fake it, that I can be my real self.
Yeah.
And Keliah, boo boo,
Yeah.
you were a part of that.
What the young people do?
This the new one.
What's that?
It's a hard one.
It's something every day. Let's do that.
So y'all, welcome. Person Natalie here to have real conversation, to help you in understanding. Listen, we had Mama, we had Tia, we had Daddy, we had Joseph. These are real relationships with real conversation, sharing real life. The Facebook, help me. What's some of the social media platforms?
TikTok,
Instagram,
X,
and
Twitter.
Oh, okay. I'm like, that's the new one.
Okay.
X, Twitter.
Now, like, people talk about friendship.
Well, that people put on the show.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People put on the show, but it's not like real conversation.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, you see the picture, but let's talk about what's happening behind the picture.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Friendships, communication, being so key in friendships. Now, y'all, Keliah and I, how long have we been friends, girl?
Overall, I keep telling people I'm 21, so I gotta be careful. Let me think. I was still in college, so that was.
Yeah, hold on. It's not girl math, it's God math.
At least 15 years.
It's not girl math, it's God math.
Okay, we gotta give a range. At least 15 years, we gotta go there.
Okay, so we have been friends for at least 15 years.
Yes.
Right? The friendship has evolved over the years. Listen, it was not always like this.
No.
It wasn't. In the beginning was the word. I'm just playing. Okay.
I'm like, where's this going? We're gonna get deep. Let's do this.
But, okay, honey. Pause. That's one of the things I absolutely love about you, Keliah.
Oh.
Like, no, for real. We can go from being sentimental to deep to laughing to like bawling my eyes out, but at the same time Here comes laughter. Like, our relationship has
Yeah.
been so healing, Keliah.
Same. I feel the same way. And we've gone through like different phases of life, like together.
Yeah.
So even in those 15 years, I feel like, yeah, it's like ups, downs, highs, lows, all of it.
But we stuck through it.
Stuck through it, yeah.
So, 15 years, however, hey T, welcome.
Hey T.
Y'all come on in and share your friendships. Your best friend name.
Tag
Listen.
your bestie, yeah.
Type your bestie name. Tag them. Okay? Alright. So in that 15 years, there was a period of time where you and our friendship took a little bit of a break.
Yes.
And being honest, it wasn't on good terms.
No.
It was really hard. But let me tell you something. Before best friend was best friend, right? We were just friends then. She took the time to have a hard conversation with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk about having hard conversations, Keliah, and the benefit.
The benefit. So are we gonna talk about the break or what we're gonna
Girl, talk. Let's know.
We were at a women's retreat.
Yeah.
And I was so mad at her. I don't even know why I was mad. I can't remember the full gist. I just remember I was like upset. And while I was at the prayer retreat, she was sitting there pumping.
Journey was a baby.
Journey, baby. She was sitting there pumping.
Shout out to the blood sisters.
And when I looked over at her, the Lord had convicted me about her. And he was just like down on like, you need to go apologize to her for A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I'm like,
H-I-J-K.
Okay, you remember we laughed.
Okay. I'm being good.
And so I remember she was over there pumping, and I was like stalling. I think I went to like everybody but that. I'm like, I was talking to the cashier, I was talking to the windows, I'm like everybody but that. And finally I was just like, okay, if she receives me, she receives me. If she doesn't, she doesn't. And I remember I walked over to her and I just started bawling. You remember that?
I don't remember
you were sitting there pumping, I was crying. And you were like, I was like, I'm so sorry. You were like, are you? I should have.
No, be real.
She was like, are you? Are you? I'm like, this girl, I'm being genuine.
I don't remember that, people.
But it taught. So with reconciliation, it's like different stages of it. Like sometimes you reconcile for forgiveness, and then you come back together. But I was learning the stages of it because that wasn't the last hard talk we had. I think we had we were like rebuilding, got back into our friendship group again. But I kind of felt like it was just something weird. Like I'm like, there's like a bite in her tone. Like there's something there. And then finally, that was the day we were at Walmart. I think we had just came back to town from somewhere.
Okay. We're gonna help these stories. Okay, so like my perspective, I don't remember the retreat, but I do remember. Excuse me. You were coming back from Disney, and you asked for us to meet and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And hear me out, y'all. Tips, tricks, listen, communication. It was a time where it was like, hey, this was my experience.
Yeah.
And it wasn't justification. It wasn't trying to explain aside. You literally heard me out and understood my experience and allowed the time, like, validated. I'm sorry you felt that way.
Yeah.
And that was healing.
Yeah.
And then for me to allow you that safe space to be vulnerable, y'all.
Yeah. I believe that's what a lot of the conversations, like the healing part, was the vulnerability. Just like, okay, I'm sharing this, and it's not like, okay, I can't wait to go tell somebody what we just talked about. But it was just, I'm sharing, she's sharing, and it was transparent. Like we were saying the quiet part loud. So like, if I got offended because you were chewing gum and you offered me a piece, we said that, and it wasn't, well, if you wouldn't have did this, and that was what made it healing for me, because it was like, oh, okay, I get it, and it was, we were able to communicate that.
I love that. Yeah. Saying the quiet parts out loud. Praise the Lord, my letter. I hope I'm saying your name everybody. Praise the Lord, Sister Williams. How about that? Send me a voice memo with the pronunciation so I can get it right in Canada. Hallelujah.
Talk about hallelujah. I'm gonna practice. My letter.
From Buffalo, New York, represent y'all. Tag your besties. Hey, Mama Rose, I love you. Tag your bestie, Mama Rose. LaShonda, hey, love.
Oh, hey, Shazi. Or LaShonda.
Shazi.
It's okay.
She can be Shazi for us. So T says she got to work on communicating and speaking up. Cause you said singing the quiet parts out loud, y'all. Over the years, you are so good at it. You be like, you know when to say it. So not saying the quiet parts out loud in a public setting.
Yeah.
Keliah text me and be like, "Hey, can we talk?" And she knows herself enough and me enough to where she's like, it can't be text. I'd rather meet in person. If we cannot meet in person, then let's do a phone call.
Yeah.
Depending on like what I'm going through, I'm a FaceTime you.
Yeah.
Because we can't be in person, but I want to see your face. And then to have that conversation. And it's not a pointing finger conversation. Hey, is something going on? Is everything okay? This is what I'm experiencing.
Yeah.
Can you let me know if what I'm experiencing is happening? Because it took courage and vulnerability to start the conversation.
Yeah.
And then it took courage, and it's taking courage and vulnerability to continue to say the quiet things out loud. The things we hear in our head. Okay? Saying that out loud, like, hey, did I offend you? What's happening in your world to have a better understanding of each other?
Yeah. And you said something really good that we know. Like, okay, I don't like texting. If there's conflict, I am not texting because I don't read tone. So if you're texting me something, that'll be like, okay, can I call you? Because she doesn't text it, so I won't misinterpret what she's saying. And just knowing our friendship, to be able to come to each other and say, like, I'm trying to think of something like subtle where we're like, oh, and when we talk to each other, it's like, okay, I feel left out or something. It's like, oh, okay. Versus being like, you know new friends, you know how
them
sometimes,
you know how you know, like, I'm your only best friend. Right, relax. Okay, so sorry. But no, just see. I do it jokingly, and you can tell when it's a cut behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I do it jokingly-ish, because Keliah my best friend, and she only got one.
Yeah, so, communicating. But I'll just say.
But I do share you.
You do.
Boo-boo.
You do.
And she shared me too.
A lot. Freely.
My life. What? The coffee maker. Girl, you gonna have to help me. Tell them about best friend and how
it go over here.
Yeah, sometimes it goes over my head. And I thank God for that in a friend, right? Because just like I don't want to compare it to marriage, but it is a relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all got Joseph, right? Keliah will see things and go to war for me in other ways, because some things Joseph don't see from like the male perspective. Keliah will pick up things and go to war for friend. Same thing that I will do for Keliah.
Yeah, like last year, I had a really tough. It was something just tough, and I called Nat, and I'm calling her. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call these two people to share. And I'm gonna see how they're gonna handle it. And one was my sister and one was Nate. And they both said the same thing. It was like, what you wanna do? And I was like, oh, okay, okay, yeah. But Nat is there like, there are moments where I'm not being level-headed, and that be like, okay, breathe. What do you want to do? And I appreciate that. Like, I got my husband Chris. He the same way. Keliah, reel it in. And I feel like God covered me in that way with like my intimate relationship with my husband, but then my best friend having that similarity of like not helping me go over the go over the edge. Not being Patricia. I got a new nickname, Paulina.
Oh Lord, we can't.
Oh, we can't say it.
Yeah. We'll tell y'all later. But I do thank God because Keliah respects, like I do as well, the call, right?
Yes.
That's on my life.
Yes.
I see what God is doing in her, and y'all, throw jealousy out the window. Throw comparison out the window. Have the conversations and push each other to greatness. When your friends are acting outside of character, in love, call them out. Sis, that's not you. What's happening? Where are you hurting? I've seen Keliah bleeding, and instead of broadcasting it, I'm covering her. Here's a Band-Aid, if a Band-Aid can take care of it. If it take a little bit more, and it's something I can't handle, baby, let's go to the hospital to handle it. See, it's not a selfish thing. It's a selfless thing. And then in the giving, you get so much back.
So much. And if we go into our relationship seeing it as a ministry, we always use like Mary and Martha, their sisters, or Jonathan and David. We always talk about Peter and Jesus. But those were ministries that upheld each other. Like at the end of the day, when we talk about Jonathan, he could have allowed his dad to kill David, but he understood the call on David's life and he covered him.
Yeah.
And I always tell Nate, she's like, why you didn't tell me this? Why you didn't do that? I said, because I understand the call on your life. It's bigger than me. So I don't put myself selfishly before it. I preserve that part of you because that's the love I have for you as a friend, as a sister. I'm like, no. Even when it's something where I feel like it's gonna be putting her, even for you to look at, I'm like, well, we're not doing it. We're just not doing that. And that's just the covering. So yeah.
Cover your best friends. Cover them.
Wait.
Yeah.
Which finger?
Cover them. See that? We cooking. At the end of this,
We're not cooking. We're done. We eating.
We cooking. We're cooking.
We getting ready.
Yeah, we getting ready to show
Oh,
y'all
we're cooking now. We're cooking with gas.
Cooking. Hi, Kanisha.
Hi.
Shaniqua, I do.
We
Love you.
We love you, Miss. I do. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, you see the heart, how it's making a heart.
She says we're eating them up.
Yes. Okay, y'all, here's our recap, right? It's always a good time with best friends. Listen,
always.
Whether we doing something new, sitting around being lazy, eating, at church and prayer, like it's always a good time. But we do the work to maintain that friendship. Because over the years, like I said, it's been times where I'm feeling some kind of way. Like I have felt left out. And saying, hey, Keliah, can we talk? Mm-hmm. I've been feeling left out for X, Y, and Z. Saying the quiet things out loud in love. In love. Like, why you always like, no, that ain't gonna work.
I mean, I'm just playing.
Or the slick slide.
You don't slick slide. You'll tell me, can we talk?
I will. But the opposite will put up a defense mechanism.
And take it personal.
And then cause a wall, between you.
Yeah.
And listen, we this year talking about walls coming down. Yeah. And that's the last thing you want to do in relationships. Just being open and honest with each other, having the hard conversations, covering each other, praying for each other. Tag your besties, y'all. Tag your besties. Seeing where they are going in God and covering them, y'all.
Yeah.
When you see the crown needs adjusting it, fixing it without telling the world, broadcasting it. Did I get all the recaps?
That was a good recap.
Okay.
That was good.
Anything else you want to share with that?
Oh, that was good. That was good. Fixing the crown. And even like not, so I'm going to use Jonathan and David again. Mm-hmm. How David was called to be king and go forward. And Jonathan, sometimes people take it as like a wingman, as a slight, but just not taking it jealousy if you see your friend or your sister going forward and they may not be called.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm just as great or whatever. Even like getting into the trap of comparison. I don't feel that.
Yeah.
I don't feel that. I don't see it. It's like, oh yes, like I can go support. I can go sit behind. I don't have to take it, as a slight on me. So yeah, that's something that
Keliah, when I tell you, I am a better person. I'm so serious because of you. Like for real, the support is so real. And even though she don't be wanting me to, I be giving her credit.
Please don't.
Because the support is so real. When you have someone that's supported and don't need, you know what I mean, the credit. But I'm going to give you credit where credit is due. And I do it in balance. So I don't do it like every single time because I want to be respectful. But I don't want people thinking everything me. It's the support that I have. Huge support in Joseph. Huge support. Like Joseph behind the scenes doing all kinds of stuff to support. Coming up with personality. Yo, oh my God, what we doing? What is this? And walking in faith and trusting God. I'm like, what is it? I don't know. I knew Keliah was a safe space that I could share it with. Know your safe spaces, y'all. Know your safe spaces. When someone shows you who they are and it's not a safe space, believe it. Believe it. But knowing that I could share it and she would take it with me, pray with me, support it, and even snatch my edges when I'm being stagnant, like I gladly do her.
Yes, she does. They're here now. I have to fill these in this morning. Knowing my edges.
With a pencil?
No, I have this edge gel.
Oh.
But yeah.
So the same spaces and supporting. Throw jealousy out the window. You even have to throw comparison out the window. Not just comparison in where we going, right? Because God has created us to be two different people, right? With two different ministries. But comparison on how I see you interact with that person. Mm-hmm. That's a real thing in friendship. Not just marriage. Friendship. Not comparing how she interact with this person or I interact with that person and knowing the call on our lives are different. You got something?
Yeah, because I was going to say the interacting because I feel like I struggled with initially, okay, that's my best friend. Everybody would get like the minister part where it was like, the fire. And then I would get a call, and I'm like, okay. And I would get girl. And I'm like, but I want minister today. So I would struggle that. I'm like, well, why is she not trying to lay hands and pray for me? But God showed me like what I needed as far as like you giving me the minister part in that camaraderie, in that friendship. Because at first I was comparing her, and I'm like, she went and prayed for them. She ain't prayed for me.
I was like,
nah, you ain't trying to. No, you trying to. I don't need a rebuke.
Oh.
Well,
I'm not here to review.
Not right now. Not on the live.
But that's another thing, though, Keliah, that we had to learn about each other because we'll now call each other and be like, okay, this is what I need. I just need you to listen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to say anything. Or I need prayer. Or I need the friend hat.
Yeah, we be like, this best friend talking.
Yeah, like
that's code for this is about to get real.
Because I immediately like, the Lord is. She had to tell me this best friend.
Or I would like read the room because she's like, a perspective. I don't want a perspective. I want to blurt out the next. And I'm like, read the room, Nat. Read the room. Because she'll be like, God says that the Lord asked me. I don't want to hear that right now. I know He got me. Right now I'm upset.
Let me be upset. No, for real. I had to learn that, y'all. Because sometimes I can be like, la la la. I'm learning to read the room. Y'all, point your hands this way and say, Lord, help her read the room.
Lord, please help her read the room.
No, not too much. That's not.
Expeditiously.
Shanika said, I love this for y'all. This is God-given friendship. I love to watch y'all encounters. At Keliah, you are such a big support. And Nat, you are such a pusher. Y'all, I've been working on my muscles to push.
You are getting heavy. You hit me before this thing was hurt.
Why are you telling me?
I mean, just edit it out. It's live. I'm sorry.
All right, y'all. Communicating. Throwing jealousy, comparison with other people out the window. Keys to friendship. Support, y'all. Support. You nip jealousy in the butt by communicating. Tell on the enemy.
Yeah.
Tell on him. Because he doesn't want you to have the friendships, those relationships.
And then you nip it in the butt by checking yourself. I have to check myself and the motives on where this jealousy, because we're human, we're in flesh, we're gonna feel those types of emotions. But am I jealous because what is my intentions behind my jealousy? You mean, and why do I want this friendship? Because sometimes that feeds into it too. Like, am I in this friendship for opportunity? I see her on flyers, so if I get close to her, now I can be on flyers. Like, what's the intent behind my emotions? Yeah. That's something to pay attention to. Like, if I'm feeling like, okay, why do I want the minister in that? Why do I want, her to pray for me in front of people? Why do I want that image? What is that in Keliah?
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, I'm looking for that type of attention in front of people. When our foundation is extremely solid. Yeah. I mean, it's solid.
And when you speak about that, I also think about, like, it's like, okay, well, why you not praying for me in front of people? Not you, but just taking it a step further. Yeah. Well, that's because you probably doing such and such. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it's like, no. Who is your friend, right?
Yeah.
What has their characteristics shown you? To mute the noise in the lies. Yes. Because if we are not careful, we'll paint a picture that is not the real thing, based off hurting people.
Yes.
Another thing, can I share?
Sure, what? Give me a code. Oh, yeah.
Okay, another thing that we had to learn is when asking, are you okay? Being honest and saying, no, it's a time I'm hurting right now. I need prayer in this. Because we miss the opportunity to minister to each other if we're putting on a mask that everything is okay. Big thing for me, it's okay not to be okay, but we can't stay there.
Right.
How do we get up? It's in community. It's in relationship. Yeah. It's in being honest. It's in humility.
And one thing that you are really good at, you'll refer other resources. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going through something and you're like, I don't even know how to respond, can I get this person your number? Can I get you connected? And that's one of the things I can appreciate. Versus you be like, I can't handle that, or I just can't. You're always like, Keliah, I don't know, but I know somebody that can possibly help. So that's another thing. Not only me being honest with help, but you offering that extra resource and support, and it's helped me out a lot.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still snapping, but ish.
I'm so serious about people getting their healing any and every way in order to live the abundant life, y'all. We have people that have been through the things that we are going through or will go through, that wants to help, that are genuine in wanting to help, so that you don't have to go through things alone. Isolation is the worst place to be. Thinking you're the only one going through that thing is the worst place to be. Being honest is key in relationship. And y'all, I didn't always have the best friendships and relationships. I hurt with friendships. I've been betrayed. I've told some things and heard it back later. And so I had to learn. And I want to encourage you that if you have hurt from friendships, don't give up on friendship. If you have hurt, you know, like we said, our relationship always wasn't the best. But we were humble, transparent, vulnerable, real with each other to get what we needed and still do need.
Yeah.
You had something else? The stages of life have changed too.
Yeah, tremendously.
Tremendously. Like when I met her, I was a single mom with Jaden, who was just a few years old. And you were in college.
Yeah, living with young, wild, and free.
Yeah, I say because we young and free, but not wild. But if we wanted to be wild, we could be wild like John. But I don't want to eat
I want to eat locusts and honey.
So yeah, we young and free in Jesus. Because who the Son sets free is free indeed.
Read the room.
We did not practice that.
Read the room.
Okay, y'all, I'm back. Hello, personality here.
And her co-star, Keliah.
So we started the friendship there, right?
Yeah.
Now, girl, tell us about you and what you do, as well as the many hats you wear.
Oh, in life?
Yeah, because just to show
the
how it's
transition
evolved.
So when 15 years ago, I was single. I was single in college. Since then, I've had 4 kids. I've gotten 2. I got my master's. I started business. Got married. Transition into my identity.
Yeah,
that's a huge one. And
girl, talk about that, please. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Transition into my identity in Christ. Because initially when we met, I was not sure of who I was in God. I wasn't. I was just doing and coming and going. I was basically a vagabond. Is that too passionate of a word? But I was a spiritual vagabond. I didn't even know where I was landing. But to come into a space of knowing who God called me to be and who was supposed to be in my space, that helped me out tremendously. You played a big part in that identity piece, because I've always valued friendship, and I always share the testimony. I've always wanted a connectedness and sisterhood.
Yeah.
I've always wanted, even with like me and my sister like this, but I've always appreciated connectedness and sisterhood. So going from searching for that, like trying to people please and doing whatever I need to do to keep a relationship, to me chasing God with the same passion and finding this friendship, that was the plot twist of the century.
That's so good. You said in chasing God,
yes,
you found what you needed.
God was like, here, you're gonna need this along the way. And initially I didn't understand it. I'm like, well, I would have just seen that. You like, okay, she's this powerful intercessor. I'm kind of like a, jokester, blah blah blah. But she, and I always tell her this. Like when Mary was pregnant, Elizabeth, and the babies leaked. I always make that. I tell Nat that all the time. It's like when they the ministry in us, when we come together and they leak together.
Yes.
And it was like that's God was like, she's called to pull that out of you.
Yeah.
Because Nat, I'll be quiet. I'll text it to someone. This would be a great idea for you, but I'm not gonna do it. But Nat'll be like, Keliah is going to. She don't read the room.
I'm not supposed to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
But so yeah, just transitioning into the fire that I have, and then you don't let me get distracted. Well, like life is going on. You don't take account for every mishap or mistake. Like you just take me as I am in Christ and as I'm growing. And I felt like that's been reciprocated so much. But that's where I am now. Like just this identity. You talk about personality.
Yeah.
Like the Keliah today. I don't think we met the same Keliah and Natalie. Like if we could go back in time, you remember Back to the Future? If we could go back in time and talk to those girls, they'd probably be like, huh? Because it's not the same. It's not the same. Like, I mean, you still want me to make salmon croquet.
Yo, she has not made me salmon croquet in how long? We waiting. Y'all ever seen that gym where it's like the skeleton, the person turns to a skeleton?
The skeleton because they're waiting.
That's how long I've been waiting.
I'm gonna make it one day.
Soon, before the end of 20. Put it in the comments for me. Before the end.
Do not put that. You gotta your prophecy gotta align with the word. Find the scripture. I gotta do this before 2025. I'll do it.
Given it shall be given unto you.
Press down. Mm-hmm. I don't want salmon croquet.
Girl. Oh Lord. That's right, Mama Evans. Be honest with friendships and in marriage also. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Alright, let me find my Thank you, Boo. Ooh, this one is good. Emotional availability. I learned that first in marriage. And then I learned it with friendships. Hey, cousin Krita. I love you. Welcome. We're talking about friendship. Emotional availability. Friends may not be equally available for emotional support, leading to feelings of imbalance in a relationship. So, not that we have a friendship where there's a subject and a leech. We understand the seasons. So in one season, I may not be as emotionally available as you are during this season, but in the next, it's a give and take, and knowing when. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got more you want to add to that?
Yeah. And even like, because with emotional availability, when I am sometimes in a heavier season, I used to withdraw. I'm a person like, okay, I don't want this person to think I'm a stage 5 clinger, but I tend to pull back. But just educating myself on, it could hurt someone if you're too afraid to, you're telling them that, okay, we this close, we best friends, but you don't want to like share, or you don't want to be open with me. Being emotionally unavailable, that's something I struggle with. I didn't realize it, but then I was like, oh, I do pull back. And
that was the conversation we had.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, I don't want to be a burden to this person. And then that was like, well, I'm getting hurt because A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So just learning that. But then in that, when it's time for like us to shift, or when there's a shift, or you say like Keliah, like it's up. And one of the things I love that you do, you say, I do not want to talk about it right now. Yeah. And that some people may take offense to that. I love that she tells me that, because A, she's communicating, okay, Keliah, emotionally I'm not in the space, but I just don't want to share. Thank you. Thank you. And it's like, okay, cool. And I'll even ask like, okay, can I joke? Is this a bad time to joke? Do you want me to not share about certain things? And you're like, no, I just don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And that's where it is. And it's like a respect for how no one's emotions is more important. She doesn't wait for me to validate her emotions, and I don't, wait for her to validate mine. It's just like respect and emotion.
You talked about, because you talked about knowing your identity, right? So when I know me, I know when I'm feeling a certain way, what could come out, because I'm hurting and I don't want to bleed over you, or I know that it's life and death lies in our tongue, right? So when I'm hurt and angry, I don't want to speak something that I can't take back. So I need to take this and process it, and then I'll come back to talk about it as I need to. But also, you talked about not being a crutch, like an emotional crutch. And that's another thing I had to learn, not to crutch on your husband, if men are looking, your wife, not to crutch on your friends. Y'all, the only thing you better be crutching on is God. Because he's a jealous God. Don't put anyone in that space. And so when the initial thing happened, I got to run to God and get it on with God.
Yeah.
So he can lead and direct and guide me. And then I can come back and have a conversation where nobody will get hurt. Because before, listen, the guns wasn't in my arms.
What was they in?
My mouth.
Oh, okay. But they was in your arms too?
They are in my arms.
Oh, they in there. What's kind of like AK-47 pistol? What is it?
I got, what's the one that like got that big hole in it?
A shotgun?
Not a shotgun. I'm talking about, it's like a
missile?
Yeah. I got missiles in my arms. Keliah telling me when I'm not right to it, and it's okay.
You know them cute persons? The little pink ones.
The pew-pews. I got a pew-pew in my arm.
It's okay.
I'm working on it.
Bullets hurt. Regardless, bullets hurt. They hit, they land, they hurt. So look at it that way.
All right. Oh, Mama Rose said that's great to let a person know where you are. Yeah. And then respect them when they say it. Respect them when they say it. Yeah. And don't take it personal. Because I'm going to be honest, I have in the past taken it personal, and then it ended up blowing up into this thing that had I respected what they said, then we would have been all right.
Yeah.
And so I've learned that, like in marriage and in friendship.
Yeah.
At work.
Yeah.
I've learned it too. Like when a person say it, or I know when I need to step away. Know when to step away. Know when to be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also like the emotional availability I wanted to talk about was like when I'm like having a hard day, this is not how I'm listening to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, putting the phone down. We just put our phones down.
We do.
And I get that from you.
Because
I started acknowledging, I'm like, oh, she puts her phone down. So I'm like, and not trying to,
I didn't know that. To be intentional about the time that we have to do.
And we got so in tune with it, we don't even have time to be like, we don't take pictures. We never take pictures of the stuff we doing.
Let's do it.
Right now?
Yeah. Okay, we got a picture.
Because we have adventures in babysitting. We never.
The Baltimore.
Yeah,
oh,
we never have any pictures of proof. But that's because we're like in tune with the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we don't know, as we've been transitioning, we don't know where life is taking us. And I was telling her a couple days ago, I'm like, I don't want us to transition away from each other. And it's not in like a negative way, but like things happen, people move. It's like anything. And then I'm just basking in appreciating the season of friendship. Like I'm like, thank you, God.
And you know another thing I love about our friendship, I didn't even take my drink yet. that we emotional availability,
Yeah.
right? We don't have to be on each other all the time,
No.
24/7. It's like when we pick up, we never skip a beat.
Yeah.
And then it's no question about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, because I don't know if people think we always.
We got whole lives.
It'd be like a week.
But when we do get together, a time will be had.
The turn up is always real.
It be real.
We do have good times.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
All the time.
And now we gotta share each other because, like, somebody got some money. We can go to the next one.
I get that from my granddaddy.
You know, outreach is amazing.
Granddaddy Valerie, I love you. I do.
We always start with, like, let's have a girls' day. And then 15 people later,
Oh, it's real.
we got a magic school bus with like 15 people. That's okay. We love sharing the love. We turn up for everybody.
We do.
But that's how
it do. And I've heard the unspoken request. And me and you were just the two of us.
We gotta do Adventures in Babysitting Part 2.
A babysitting? What was the babysitting?
I was gonna get kidnapped at the train station.
Don't tell everybody.
Oh, right.
That was, y'all. Yeah. Okay, that ain't even enough. All right, boundaries, y'all. Let's talk about boundaries and friendship. Keliah, share boundaries.
Share boundaries.
The importance of boundaries.
Yes. So I'll just share. Like, one of the things I like to protect is my family and my marriage. Those are things that I'm just like, you know, those are safe spaces for me, and I try to protect them. God gave it to me, and I just protect them. And one of the things you've never done is be pushy about that. Like, you're never like, where Chris Wood? You're like, and then if I bring it up, you're like, okay, because it's like but that makes me want to share. That makes me want to be open with you and transparent and sharing those intimate moments that I don't broadcast to the world. That makes me want to do that with you. And boundaries, and like, one of the things I also appreciate about you is, like, when I have a deal, when I want to do something, I don't know if people notice about me, but like, I don't like takeover spirit. Like, if I have an idea or something, she's not like, this is how you should do it. It's like, girl, God gave it to me, thank you. But you guide me and walk me through it, like, okay, Keliah, no. Okay, and then you'll pull back. It's like you have that boundary of the creativity I have for things, but it's not like, okay, I want to make it my own.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I don't think I've ever shared that, but I'm like, it makes me so willing to share with you and be like, blah, 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 blah. Another thing I like about boundaries is that Nat she's like a big sister to a lot of people. She never, ever, ever, I love this about her. She never shares anything with me. Not that I asked, but that is preemptive.
Yeah.
But she does not be like, girl, I just talked to the never. And I was thinking one day, I'm like, or so, because somebody's like, oh, maybe Nat already told you. And I'm like, I didn't even know you. No, that didn't happen. But the way you keep, and you're not even on the same playing field as those people. Like I'm assuming that they're not your best friend, but the respect that you have for their relationship and the boundary you have, I love that. It's so admirable. It shows so much integrity. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, she didn't tell me that. Okay. You know, she kept that when she can have that when she ate with that, keeping that secret. But not a secret, but keeping that, you know, safe.
Yeah.
And that's a boundary we have. Like, our relationship is between, our friendship is between me. It's not based off external sort of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I appreciate that. It goes back to the safe spaces, y'all. The safe spaces, like your ideas, your God-given ideas, your God-given identity, your God-given dreams is going to be safe with me. Even sometimes, girl, people be going to Joseph and be like, oh, I told Natalie this, I thought you would know. No, him and I don't do that. Him and I, if it's somebody else's thing and they didn't tell him, or they told him and didn't tell me, that's for them to tell.
Yeah.
Like, we can't do that.
Yeah.
I get that from my mama.
You're really good at that. You get something from everybody.
I do. Yeah.
What you give me a daddy?
I got the moves like daddy. I got the moves like daddy.
Your daddy do be in there with his bed.
And so he's really funny. The Bellamy side is witty too.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've experienced it firsthand.
Yeah. Boundaries. Back
Yes,
to boundaries. We do this a lot, y'all, so bear with us.
I know, we do squirrel thoughts. This is really our conversation. Imagine us for 2 hours. Imagine us at like, oh.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah. We always have fun.
Boundaries. When someone says, okay, I'm not in the space to talk about it, that's boundaries. If it's one of the things, because I talked about being emotionally available, right? So one of the things I practice is putting my phone down when I come home. So on the way home from work, I'll catch up on calls and different things. And Keliah respect the boundary, right? So it's like we talking, we're good in the conversation. Okay, girl, I got about 5 minutes before I'm home. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up in this so that when we get home, understanding the dynamics, right, of home life, and paying attention to my husband and my kids because of all the other heads. Like, home is the first ministry. It's the relationship with God, your spouse, your children, the church, then the other stuff, right? You had something.
Even when I said there are certain days for my family. And you started planning or accommodating those days. And it was you respected, I mean, you didn't take it you were like, okay, cool. And I think I even told you one time, I'm like, if you walk in the house and I'm still talking, just hang up. That's okay. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, bye. You'll say, okay, bye.
I'd say
bye. But just having that boundary set, and understanding the importance of our marriages, you know what I mean? And how that we don't compare it. And children, our families. And we don't compare, and we just respect the space of it. That's real good.
Because it's something I learned that my sister's destiny shift. It's not quantity of time, it's quality of time. And so being very intentional, which is why when we together, I'm putting the phone down. Because I want to take in all I can in that time. Because y'all, we don't learn. That tomorrow is not promised. And so everything that I have to give and everything that I have to get from the relationships, I'm going to get it. Sister Brittany preached a message years ago, that in I don't want all this stuff in me. That's why you get in the videos Mondays in the morning, weekly. That's why you get in the lives to see, you see, right, me and Keliah in our pictures and our posts and us laughing. But it takes work, y'all. It takes work. Do the work. When you having those hard, vulnerable spaces, don't go and hide. Be transparent and talk to them.
Oh, we got one more.
Okay. See, she's so good, y'all. She got the thing for me. All right. Ooh. Social media, y'all. I'm going to go with the text messaging too.
Okay.
Right? Can cause interactions to be misunderstood or misleading. And so that's where it's so important to have the conversation. Because I said even text messaging, email at work, where it's you read it based on the mood you felt. Or sometimes you'll see it and you don't even see the whole picture.
Yeah.
Based off how you feel.
Yeah.
It's so important. Communicate. Have the conversation.
I got something to say about this because a couple of weeks ago you posted that your best friend be retrieving and having something, and I had to comment on her post because I know she wasn't talking about me, so I had to make sure everybody knew she wasn't.
It wasn't her because you listened, you didn't judge.
I said, girl, ain't
you
nobody
did better. So it wasn't best friends. It's like a friends. You know, like, and quiet is kept. That's like bully.
Right, and then say the loud part. Quiet is kept. I'm about to tell you the loud part.
That used to be you, but it's not no more. Because we had that conversation. And I thank you for being honest.
Yeah.
I thank you for trusting me, being transparent and vulnerable, so that we can get through the journey together, because it's not fair to be the one that's helping and carrying and covering, and then you hurting, and you won't allow somebody to pour back into you, because God uses people.
Yeah, he does.
He uses people.
And in finding my identity in God, when I take it to him, he then says, okay, now connect with her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is, I'm healing you, but this is a conversation you have with your therapist, or go talk to your best friend. You know what I mean? And so that helps me out a lot, because I felt like I was just, the first person that was showing me compassion, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But then it wouldn't turn out, it wouldn't meet my expectations.
Yeah.
And but me consulting with God, and then God guiding me and saying, Keliah, you can go share.
Yeah.
Go share. And even when I'm sharing like 3 words, that the intercessor would be like, girl, let me tell you what God is showing me. And I'll be like, oh, she right. Then I get real quiet and she knows what that means. It's me saying she right without saying it.
Sound right. Sound right. Sound right. Okay, she's not gonna say that. Next time she said I'm recording it.
Please don't. I don't give you consent to record me. Like the iPhones that you record calls now. Anyway.
They do. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yes, see? Worried about being right.
Social media, have the conversation. Don't let that destroy your friendship and relationship.
Yeah.
And then boundaries. Like, hey, don't post this type of thing about me. Or don't put this out there. Or you see the little piece of my hair sticking up. I don't like that picture.
Take it down.
Take it down without being taking offense.
Yeah.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Or keeping some stuff just between you and your friend.
Yeah.
Like me and my husband do a lot, but I don't share all that on social media. Because that's just something I want between me and my husband. And I respect that in my friendship. There are certain, like, I have so many funny videos I would love to share because they're just hilarious. But that's something,
I got funny videos.
You want me to show you? When it's loud, I can show you. I can make a movie of it. You don't want to see it?
What were you going to say?
Oh. But just having that is something that's sacred between us. Where it's like, you know what I mean? It keeps it.
Yeah.
Like, we can share a cute birthday post, but there's some things like, okay, I'm not going to share.
Yeah.
Where, that's something, because social media can be tricky.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said it's something really, it was a preacher, he said social media is the highlights of your life. Like it's a highlight. So I don't want to post every single, you know what I mean, every single detail. There's just some things that's just like, okay, I'm keeping in my marriage, I'm keeping in my friendship. Yeah. And that's what it is.
That's good. That's good. This has been such a good conversation.
I know.
Recap. Backwards. Okay. Transparency and friendship, vulnerability. Say the quiet things loud.
Say the quiet feelings loud.
Quiet feelings loud, right? Don't entertain those things, but communicate. Cover, push. Pew pew.
Okay, Pee Wee. Okay, we gotta wrap it up. We got an hour. What?
Okay, and also, we talked about emotional availability, being available, but with balance, right? You don't want to pull away and isolate and go through it on your own. You don't want to crutch. Putting God first, and Pastor Cameron preached that about prioritizing.
Yeah.
My God, prioritizing God, and we both talked about it.
Yeah.
Like I learned my identity. I know I have to go to God, and then in me going to God, He tells me where to go.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, I can't talk about that right now. I gotta go to God to get what I need to release, because He be helping me to stay safe and free. He do. Not being jealous. I'm back. Not comparing. Lives, relationships, open and honest, and understanding that we changing, y'all.
Yeah.
If we not changing, we dead, right? If you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah.
Literally, if you're not moving, you die. So respecting the change, not looking at best friend and being like, you changed. I'm supposed to, and celebrating the change. We talked about boundaries, establishing boundaries. If you're always frustrated in a relationship, it's probably telling you that you're missing boundaries and you need it. Establishing boundaries, respecting boundaries, and continuing to be the safe space for your best friend or friend. You have anything else?
No, these were all good.
That was a lot.
That's
we're
going
to recap. Oh, that was millennium.
Millennial. We're in the millennium.
Oh, millennial.
Right? 20. Yeah.
That's
okay. Should I do this? That's like, oh.
Nope, you're 21. Third time around. All right. We back. We
third time around. Let's get through this. I need to end this so I can use some unhealthy language. It's about third time around. People know I'm 21.
I'm almost on the second time around.
You never claimed to be 21.
I didn't.
That is my niche.
Yo, listen. Give friendship a try. Do the work. It is so worth it. Don't be that friend that's bleeding all over your other friends. Understand who you are in God, whose you are, right? Who and whose you are in God, and let Him direct you in the friendship. Because Keliah even shared, it wasn't until she changed her environment, the people she was surrounding herself with, same for me, that God showed me what I needed. It was almost like He took everybody away and then started placing.
That's exactly what happened.
For me. Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about for me.
Oh, me too.
Oh, yeah.
Like putting them back. Like this is this, and it ain't too many.
You are funny.
It's not.
Yeah.
But I think it's God showing me, like, I'll give you this person, but not for you to just go to them, but for me to lead you. You know, not every single time.
Yeah.
Only crutch on God. Let Him lead and direct you. Because everybody doesn't have the grace for it. But God doesn't grow weary, tired, sleepy, irritated, frustrated. Those are human characteristics where we get that. You can't wear God out for what you're dealing with. So first and foremost, go to God and let Him show you healthy boundaries. He'll even show you boundaries.
Yes.
Let Him show you healthy love and relationship. God is good.
All the time.
Thank y'all for joining. Next month, we will be having another guest. heard it for her, y'all. We have somebody every month through the end of the year for nurturing beginnings. Keliah,
I came.
Thank you.
Thank you
for being here, being a support, being a shoulder to cry on, being a cheerleader. Thank you for being what I need in this season. I love you, boo.
I love you more. Oh, we're gonna cry with a capital.
Yeah, hug your best friend. Send them a hug if you can. All right. Virtual, like text.
Oh, hugs.
Where it's like a GIF, that hug.
Okay.
Send that hug.
We're gonna give y'all a hug.
Here. All right. We out. God bless.
Bye.